I don't think I can do this. I must get up. I can't lose. Oh no. I can't feel my left arm. It must be broken. I can't do it. I won't do it. I'll defeat you, Vegeta. No! What the? Huh? So today we're doing a Yamcha deck profile. Earthling, this is a red, blue, black deck. Yamcha's a pretty solid leader. Not my favorite leaders, but I wanted to play Mass Saiyan. Haven't played him in a long time, but I was like, Mass Saiyan's really not that good. There's so many other better black leaders, this or that. Then I realized that ultimately a burst 2, draw 1 is ultimately the same thing what Mass Saiyan did. Yes, I'm not getting 3 cards to the graveyard, but I'm still plussing 1 off the attack. And I'm really utilizing the discard, so makes him really strong. I chose red just because I can with the deck cards that red had access to as a red leader. I consistently get the cards in my discard. It's not hard. It's pretty easy. When this leader awakens, he untaps 2 mana. Next, Yamcha on the front side, back side, Sparking 5, draw 1 card in critical. Even with all the overwhelm in this deck, you're going to see how easy it is to refill my graveyard. And then the secondary effect doesn't come in all that often. It happened like I only use like once or twice. Sometimes I use it just to use it, but I really don't care about this effect as much as you're going to see in a moment. Yeah, kind of useless. But I do like the effect in general. So if I did play more cards, like sideboard kind of matters. I do play the Ultimate Gohans, but that's really about it. I play 8 super combos for the Silensis Bulmas because I don't really have a discard all the time. I want to make sure this card is utilized after I attack with my leader. And then for the Unbreakable Super Saiyan Gokus. That's basically a super combo on its own. Pay 1 mana, draw 1, gain 10k. Also, don't forget the link in the description of this video. Like and comment on the link. And be subscribed to this video, and I'm still giving away the new Broly leader and the Gogeta leader. Still unsure whether I should give both away to the same person or give 1 and 1 and let people decide. You guys let me know in the comments. If you guys don't decide, I'll probably just end up giving both to one person, but if you do rather me split that up, I'll do that. Also, the person that won the Sensu Beans has not responded to me, so he has until Saturday. Yes, when I talked about it, so if he doesn't respond before then I'll give out the Sensu Beans to the next person. So, you notice we're playing a lot of black cards. You may also notice that there's a face-down card next to Mira. I traded the one out of the deck away because I'm letting somebody else borrow the other ones. And since I'm going to be playing this deck in the next couple days, it's not a big deal. Because I only play on Wednesdays, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. So, it doesn't super matter for this video right now. I do apologize. I usually have all the cards on me and just let people borrow a lot of cards. So, to start off, we have 2-dimensional Banisher Foods. I'll get closer on that. This card's really strong because it's a 1 mana, double strike 20k that removes something off the board. Very strong, getting that 2 damage early game. Next, we have 2 Time Patrol Trunks. This is usually our turn 2 play. That way we swing with our leader, swing with 2-drop Yamcha, and swing with him. Get this card almost all the time on turn 2. Main reason we only play 2 because it's all we need. It's early game threat we can almost guarantee. And it's an Earthling, so we can pull 2 of those out. If the other Kai was a Earthling, we definitely play her instead, but it's still really good because it allows us to choose and pick maybe what we want to draw or we want to mill away. Next, we play 2 Mass Saiyans. This is for a lot of smaller board removal. Same cost as a Banisher Food, double strike 20k, but it removes more targets than almost any target you want to. So it's really good. It doesn't get rid of blockers, but this early game when you play them, blockers really aren't a problem. If they do have a blocker, this card will just run right through it. Next, we play one of these because we don't really want to play 3 Trunks. We want her. That 5k buff does come in handy sometimes. I don't often draw her. Sometimes she gets milled away. I don't see her at all. But it's really good because you give her the 5k, plus we run the Babas as well. And those will give the leader 5k. Sometimes I'll swing with a 30k critical. And it's amazing because all I'm doing is buffing the shit out of my Yamcha leader to attack. Next, we play 2 Scientist Foos. Very strong card. Draw 2 cards. I usually get them off on turn 3. Which is really nice. Sometimes later turn 4, but this deck often almost never gets a turn 5. And if it does, you're not doing too well because your deck is almost completely out. But a 1 mana, draw 2, 25 double strike is very powerful. Next, we run 2 Mirrors. Mirror is a really good game finisher. You also see that we don't run the double strike cards in the deck because we have so many other double strike cards. I don't want to, and since we are bursting cards away, I didn't want to run 2 of a card or 3 of a card that's not necessarily needed in the deck. This card's really good for getting through Deadly Defenders or getting through Vegito. Pay 1 mana over on 4 and just smash right into it. Then you can kill your opponent with the other cards. Or if you have the 3-drop Yamcha on the board, you can use that to kill your opponent. But this card as well is very powerful for game ender and board removal. For things with barrier protection, because most likely your opponent will not try to combo through it. Okay, for draw power, we play 4 the Yamchas. Everyone's POW. This card's really strong. So when it attacks, look at the top 3 cards from your deck, choose 1 Earthling card among them, and add it to your hand. Double red's really easy in this deck because we run very little blue, and we only need 1 blue, and we run mostly red. This Yamcha is very powerful. This is the main card that we need in the hand. That's why you try to keep at least 1 in the hand or use Yamcha to get rid of it. This card could be at 3 if you want to. If you're scaring and mill away, you can always drop a burst attack on Gohan down. But I think 2 is fine for me. His effect's really good. The burst 5 is the main reason why we're playing this red leader, because we overwhelm so much. We're going to need to keep that 5 in there, discard for our other cards that require sparking. We don't have many sparking effects, but we still want to maintain them. Plus, if you run through one of their deadly defenders or whatever, you can kill people with the 2 damage. Very effective, and plus it can't be negated, so that's very helpful as well. Next, we have 3 burst attacks on Gohans. This is in case we get into the later game or we do a lot of comboing to wear opponent down, and the draw 2 is very helpful. It doesn't come into play that often just because our hand size is usually pretty big, but in case it comes down to the end of turn 3 or beginning of turn 4, our resources start dwindling a little bit, and he puts us right back on the map. Plus, he's a critical against hand destruction. The draw 2 is very nice as well. And he's also an Earthling, so you can always charge him if you see not relevant. Like I said before, you can always drop this down to 2 and have a 100% Yamcha. If you don't like this card at all, some people don't, you can always drop 1 burst attack for Yamcha and then run 2 Champas. So starting off with our defensive cards, we have 4 After Image. Counter attack. If your leader is red, choose up to one of your opponent's. Choose up to one of your cards, gains 4,000 power for the duration of the turn, and then choose one of your opponents, gets minus 10,000. Really good for Shenron or anything that wants to attack you that you want to get rid of. Minus 10k stays for the duration of the turn, so if you play more than one of these or combo with a Baba, you can kill that creature. Sparking 5 is really good because you can play this with just taking a life. Next, we have 4 Sensu Beans. This can be used defensively, but often I use it offensively to really grant you an extra mana, which is very helpful, especially if you're on your Awaken turn. It just gives you so much mana and so many plays that usually you win on turn 3, but as I said before, things happen. Sensu Bean, broken card. Next is Group Leader Peel-Off. We run 3 of him for a couple reasons. 1, he's blue. 2, he's an Earthling. And in case you're going against a Shenron deck that wants to try to kill you early and you have not won yet, stops that triple attack, which is very helpful. So yeah, these are the only 7 blue cards that we run. Doesn't seem like a lot, but I don't really need more than that, honestly. These 7 cards are Self-Awakeners, 3 Kabas, and 4 Trunks. This is perfect. As long as I get one of these turn 1, and I'm going second, I can guarantee an overwhelm call the next turn, because I play him, swing in some damage, take the life, and then most likely kill him, which puts 3 cards in my discard, which allows a 3-drop as well. So it's very effective. For the critical Trunks, is just because it's critical on 3 Kabas. Because Kabas only really good at late game, but if I do need to play one early, I will. I usually try to keep as many Self-Awakeners in my hand as possible. To finish off this deck profile, we play 4 Babas. Babas is a very powerful card, because depending on what you're attacking, that's 1 mana, draw 1, 15k buff on the turn it plays. Because you buff your Earthling by 5k, then you neg something by 5k as well, and you draw a card. Very powerful, so at least it's a 10k and you play it. I usually try to get something 5k, swing with that, and then combo it with a different creature. That way I can kind of divide up the power, so my opponent doesn't just take the damage anyways. I want multiple effective attacks. Plus the draw one's really nice, or leaving it as a defensive option when your opponent tries to swing at you with like a 15k critical. I can neg it by 5k and give myself 5k, which is pretty helpful. Basically grants me 10k, which is pretty nice. That's going to wrap up the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've only played in a couple tournaments with this deck, I believe 2. I went 3-1 and 2-1. The 2-1 was a free tournament I went to, so it wasn't a big deal. I'm not really sure where I placed at. 3-1 I got top 4 with. I do like this deck a lot. It is pretty fun. It's not super competitive, but it is an effective way to play Yamcha and a different way to play Yamcha. Yeah, you don't have all the Zeno stuff in there, but it plays like Black Mass Saiyan. So if you want something that's like Mass Saiyan, no, not Mass Saiyan, not Black Mass Saiyan, then here you go. Hope you guys enjoy.